Welcome back to the Djinn's Treasure. Today we're going to do a fun one. We're going to do a matching set, earrings and necklace. And to do this, what we're going to do is have a combination of tiger's eye. These are all yellow tiger's eye. And we're going to separate. There's actually 5 that are the same size, 1 that is smaller, and 1 that is larger. And for the ones that are smaller and larger, we're just gonna put them in kind of a snowman shape and leave that there for now. And then we're gonna get started with the 2 earrings. So if you've seen my latest earring tutorials, you know that I've come up with a new style, and that's the style that we're gonna use today. And we're actually gonna elaborate on that style to use it as the matching style for the necklace itself. So with that, let's get into it. The first thing we're gonna do is get our gold-plated wire. I use Anesis. You can get this online, and I use the 20 gauge. I find that this wire is a really nice gold-plated copper wire. I work almost exclusively with copper wire, but I think that a gold touch is nice for the yellow tiger's eye that we have here. So what we're gonna do is just unravel just 1 spool's rotation around, and then we're gonna clip that, and then we'll do it 1 more time. Just 1 spool wrap around, clip that, and then we'll do it 1 more time just for fun. Well, more than just for fun. But we're gonna start with just 3 spool wraps of the gold-plated copper wire. And to begin, we're gonna make sure that our wire is pretty straight. There's not a lot of wrinkles or bends in there. There could be a little bit of a bend, but nothing too dramatic. And what I like to do, I like to start with the darker of the beads on the bottom. And as you can see, this one, it's pretty dark. It almost looks black on this end, but then as you rotate it, you see that there's that subtle flash of the yellow tiger eye. So we're gonna thread this bead through. And after we thread it through, we're gonna take the 2 tip ends and kiss them together. And then we're just gonna push it so that the bead is on the other end. And if you notice, here's where the full bend creases, and the bead is either gonna be on one side or the other of that bend. And we're gonna let that be as is. In fact, we're gonna allow this wire to wrap all the way around the bead to meet with its partner. Well, it's not a partner wire, it's all the same wire, but it's gonna meet at the other end where the wire comes out of the other hole. And then from there, you're gonna use the wire itself as leverage, pushing your finger and then just gently twisting around. So you see that there's 1 full wrap around. We're gonna go ahead and actually do 2. And then from there, we're gonna switch these 2 wires. And what I mean by that is how this one is coming up straight, we're gonna bend that outwards. And then this one that was coming outwards the other direction, we're gonna bend that one to be straight. From there, we're gonna get the second bead involved, and I picked one that's a bit of a lighter shade, or it has more of a yellow flash to it, less dark, and we'll put that one on top. And then from there, we're gonna do the same thing where we bring the wire from on the bottom hole and wrap it around the crystal, around the bead, twist it 2 times, and then we'll do the same thing where we switch the wire coming out the top, and the wire on the side is now the top wire, and the other wire is now the side wire. We're almost done with this portion of it. The last thing we do is just create a loop. So I grab a little bit of away, maybe 1 inch or so, or yeah, probably about 1 inch, And what you want to do is grab the wire almost all the way to the base of the wire as opposed to up here. So for example, this would be pinching the tip of the wire, whereas this is pinching, pardon me, this is pinching with the tip of the pliers, and then this is pinching with the base of the pliers. And we want to use the base because we want to get that full roundness of the wire itself to create a nice and perfectly circular loop-to-loop. And then from here, it's pretty simple. We're just gonna make sure that this roller coaster loop-to-loop, it comes out and then it wraps around the neck. And we can even, if you have some trouble like I am with getting the very tip end, you can get some flat pliers, and just kind of smush and rotate. And you see how that kind of helps that wire tip tuck into place. And then the last step for this is to do the same thing with this other wire, and you want to just wrap it around the neck as well. I ended up going so that the two tip ends go in opposite directions as they wrap around. You could do it that way, or you could do it the other way. It doesn't really matter too much. What matters more so is that there's no pokey tips. So you see how I'm just kind of twisting and pinching and smushing that wire all into place. Now we have our first of the earring set. Also, by the way, I don't make my own hooks. I get from this box here, the Toab, that's the brand name. I find that their gold-plated hooks, not only are they hypoallergenic, which is nice, but they do have a nice golden shine to match the wire. And to attach the hook, what we're gonna do is, I prefer to use the needle nose pliers, although it's up to you, you could use the flats. But what we're gonna do is, we wanna examine closely, and you see how the opening is on this side, not on that side. So we wanna pinch down on the wire on the opening side, and we're just gonna kind of open it up like we're opening up the hole, and we're gonna allow that to be where the earring attaches, and then we're just gonna pinch down on the earring hook once again and close it back up. And now we've fully completed this earring. Now we're gonna do the same thing with another wire. And between the two of these, it looks like, oh, actually, it was dark on the one side, but it's pretty light flash on the other side. So let's see how this one looks. This one actually does look a little bit darker, so I like to have the darker ones on the bottom. And we're gonna do the same thing as before. We start by kissing the two tip ends together and then flattening this along. So this time the bead, it actually kind of fell more in the center, and that's fine. You do want to try to have the bead end on one side or the other. It does make it a little bit easier, but that's fine if you find that the bead has fallen right in the center. You just want to make sure that this wire that's coming out this way, mine has a bit of a bend there as it comes out of the bead hole. And that's something that you kind of want to avoid, but it's not going to be the end of the world if that's what happens. And then just like before, we're going to use that wire that comes around the bead and use that as leverage to twist this wire 2 times nice and tight. Then once again, we're going to switch that top wire with the side wire. So now that the side wire is the top wire is now the side wire. And then we're going to drop the other bead on. From here, we're going to do the same thing where we take the wire and wrap it around the side of the bead. And we want to try to make sure that's as tight as possible as we rotate it. So for example, this one actually didn't come out the greatest because it looks a little wonky when you compare the two. See how this one on top, those two coils are really nice, whereas these two were kind of sloppy. You want to avoid doing the sloppy work as best you can. But if this is your first time, be gentle on yourself as well. You'll get better. So now, once again, we're going to switch the side and the top wires, and then with the top wire, we're going to use the base of the pliers to create that rotation around, creating a really nice, perfectly circular loop, or close to circular loop. And then we're going to wrap that tip end of the wire around the neck loop. And then repeat the same step with the other one. This time I'm actually gonna have both those tip wires rotating around in the same direction. It just kind of, the visual to me told me that it would flow better this way. And I'm just the mere tool, and the wire is the one telling me what to do sometimes, which is the case for this. So now we're almost complete. We just gotta attach that earring hook. So I'll show you once again. Usually it's on the side, on the same side as where the earring hook tip end ends, is where you're gonna find the break in the wire hook up top here. And we're gonna pinch down on that. And then once again, we're just, if we could get the focus, we have that open now as a door to slide and attach the earring charm onto the earring hook, and then we close that door back up. And now we have our earring sets, but we're not done yet. We're gonna do, and actually I decided that since that was about perfect amount of wire that I need for these two, in order to add 3 beads, I'm gonna set this one aside and pull a little bit more wire. So I'll go ahead, this is unraveling one full spool, and then one more rotation will be more than enough wire. So we'll clip that. And then we want to start with the base being the widest. We're going to go for a snowman shape. So the bottom ball of the snowman is going to be the largest of the 3 beads. So we'll thread the larger one through first. And then once again, we're going to kiss the tips there. And we'll do our best to make sure that the bead lands on one side as opposed to in the middle. So we see it's fallen on the right side here. And then we are just going to make sure that this wire comes around the edge of the bead nice and tight. And then we'll twist it around 2 times. And then switching the side wire and the top wire once again. So top wire goes to the side wire goes up. And then we're going to add the middle section of the snowman, threading that bead through. And then we're going to bring the wire around the side of the bead once again, and then we're just twisting, using the wire as leverage or some grip while we're doing our rotation. Then switching the top and the side wires once again. And then finally we add that last little bead. So as far as finding the different size beads, I just happened to find that I had all of these over the years of accumulating beads. I had all these yellow tiger eye, and one was smaller and one was larger. And that's what allowed me to come up with this creative idea. Now, where online you'll be able to find these, off the top of my head, Fire Mountain Gems does do a pretty good job of keeping inventory in different sizes and labeling each as such. You just want to make sure that if this is your goal, you want to make sure you get a large size, a middle size, and a small size. Ideally of matching beads, like how these are all tiger eye. but it's not something that I've done, ordering off of Fire Mountain Gems online. It's just a place that a site that I've visited, and I know that they do offer this. And I do know that the quality of gems on that site are fantastic as well. So we're gonna finalize by doing that curling around the base of the pliers there, and then twisting around. And because I have so much excess, I'm actually gonna clip off some of that because we have more wire than we need. So I'll just clip that off, making sure that I leave a nub. And the purpose of leaving that nub is that there's something for me to use the pliers to tuck that tip in. And then we'll do the same thing, clipping off the excess wire, leaving a bit of a long nub, but a nub no less. And you could even start by using your fingers to twist that around. And then once it gets to a shorter nub, then you can get the pliers involved and just twist and pinch and tuck that pokey tip in. And then the last thing, which is something I didn't grab, but some gold chain to lace through this loop, and that becomes your necklace for this matching set. The other thing, the final critique, sometimes people prefer, and I am inclined to agree, that it's more aesthetically pleasing when the wires all line up on one side. So I went ahead and did that. It looks like I kind of naturally did that here on this one. And then the final earring, these two are a little bit off skew, so we're just gonna twist it a little bit so that they are better lined up. And there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you can get the algorithm on your YouTube, so that when the next time you go on, I post videos about once a week. So when you check back in a week, your YouTube algorithm should pick up and have it as the top recommendation, or one of the top recommendations for your YouTube experience. That's all for today. You can check out my links in the description. I have my online shop where I sell this jewelry. I also do Instagram, TikTok, and of course, as you know, YouTube. Check me out, give me a follow, drop it in the comments, anything that you notice, any things you like about this content, or things you hope to see in the future. I'm here for you. So take care.